Hello everyone, welcome to Red Men News. It is Tuesday. I am Paul Machin. I am joined from afar in person, but not in my heart, by Ross Chandley for this one. Hi Ross.
I needed that boost today. Thanks, Paul.
Mate, I think we're all reaching that point. I spoke to Tom this morning. I think everyone's in dire need of a cuddle at the moment, but I can't do that, obviously. So, a nice digital cuddle. Right, okay. We're going to crack on with some of the big news stories around Liverpool Football Club today. But let you know, first and foremost, this show is brought to you in association with Beer 52, the craft beer discovery club. We're offering, thanks to them, a free case of 8 craft beers and a snack for just £4.95 postage. And right now, Red Men TV and Red Men News listeners and viewers are getting 2 free beers. That's 2. Count them. 1, 2, in addition to the wonderful box that they send full of beers as well. This is a world where we can't really go out for legitimately just to get beer, but you can legitimately have it delivered to your front door. Beer 52 are the world's most popular craft beer discovery club, and every month send a new theme. You can leave it any time. Simply go to beer52.com/redmen, REDMEN, to claim your first case free. And don't forget, right now, of course, you get those 2 extra free beers, like this, for example. This is a Vocation Brewery Unfiltered Dirty Pilsner, which is a 6.5% craft lager. My days. It feels like it might be that kind of day, if I'm being perfectly honest. And this is a Hawkshead Head Dry Stone Stout. There's loads of mad, cool and interesting stuff. If you're just into your bog standard supermarket, lagers and what have you, then maybe it's not for you. But look, I prefer to have a small number of really nice and interesting beers. So Beer 52, that's a fantastic offer. So highly recommend that you go and get involved. Beer52.com/redmen to pick up that offer. Ross, let's start then. King Kenny. A little message from him on the Liverpool website. Thank you for all of your well wishes of the last few days. Obviously, he was diagnosed with coronavirus, but he's also been suffering from an infection, which he was being treated for as well. I'm delighted to be back home with the family after receiving brilliant care from the NHS, which we appreciate now more than ever. Marina and I would like to express our immense gratitude to the medical staff who cared for me and who continues to treat countless others throughout the country during an incredibly challenging period. I know the sun is shining for many of you, but I urge you to stay home and follow government guidelines to the letter. It's undoubtedly the best way that we can look after one another at this time. We will now be in full lockdown for the recommended amount of time to protect the lives of others. Look, first and foremost, we covered the news last week that Kenny had it. In fact, I say we covered it. We found out in the middle of the quiz on Friday night. The best thing as far as Liverpool fans go, of course, an absolute legend, knight of the realm, that Kenny is absolutely fine and on the mend.
Yeah, he's just such a nice guy, isn't he? You don't wish it on anyone at all. But Kenny's such an advocate, and all the stuff that him and Marina have both done for the NHS, and the support they've given to cancer patients and what he's done, for Liverpool and the city has been incredible. So, I think your first panic is someone of that age. You start to panic and you start to worry, don't you? Mm-hmm. But then, he came to like that. He didn't even know that he had it. We went in for something completely different, an infection, as you said. I'm just thankful that he's all right. And, within 2 days, he was out of hospital. He's fine. He's recovering.
Absolutely, yeah. If you want to send any well wishes to Kenny, by all means, do it in the comments. I'm not certain that he reads, to be perfectly honest. But I'm saying he reads. I'm just not certain that he reads our comments, but whatever. We're going to move on. This is Anfield.com, the fantastic Liverpool website. This is Anfield.com. Have reported that Liverpool could refund £3.7 million to season ticket holders as part of a £21 million loss. Liverpool are likely to offer refunds to season ticket holders in the region of £3.7 million due to their being unable to attend in the wake of the coronavirus pandemic. Liverpool are said to generate 17.6 million in season ticket revenue, which could lead to a 3.7 refund for fans based on the remaining 4 home games, where a match day revenue of 84.2 million means a loss of 21.4 million overall. It's suggested that clubs could offer a like-for-like discount on next season's tickets, which would effectively stall their loss of outlay, but there's no telling when fans will be able to attend, even in 2021. Look, Ross, this is the kind of things that I think we're going to start to see in the coming weeks and months. Football clubs are going to have to start taking definitive action. There's going to be a tightening in the belt in various degrees. We obviously saw Liverpool U-turn on the furlough and stuff. These are the realistic things. It's all well and good talking about Liverpool and the money that it makes, but so much of the money that it makes is money that's paid for up front that will have to be paid back.
Yeah, well, I mean, you compare it to any other business, I suppose, can't you? You know, look at holidays and stuff like that. People aren't sure whether to pay for them and kind of take that back. So those companies are losing that money. It's no different for Liverpool. I mean, it's the least that they can do, I suppose. They assuming looks like it's getting closer. If football games are resumed, they'll be behind closed doors. So if you paid a load of money up front for a service that you essentially can't have, it's the basic thing that the Liverpool can do for that. So, but you're right. You know, that's money they would have banked on, money that feasibly might have spent, or they might say, well, there's that money on season tickets. That's, X amount of players' wages covered for, 1 season, 2 seasons and stuff. And they're going to have to recalculate everything because of what's happened.
Well, you're starting to see it. This is all these things in isolation. You can go, oh, well, it's only ... It's
a lot of money.
Yeah, exactly. But when you start to add that up, when you start to add, season ticket refunds, and again, we go back to the furlough and stuff. And I think, like I said, Liverpool made the morally correct decision. But from a business perspective, I can understand that if I owned, if you look at the club shops, you're paying wages on a ton of people who work in the club shops, but the club shop isn't able to operate, isn't able to take any money, kind of thing. All of these things are why football clubs are very nervous, and you can start to see why football clubs are, to some extent, keen to find a solution that sees the football season played out. I mean, God, look at the footballers themselves, millions and millions of quid to do what? to sit around and do a couple of Instagram videos every now and again. Yeah, I think it's going to be one to watch in the coming weeks and see how Liverpool do react, to this kind of thing.
It goes a little bit further than that, doesn't it, Paul? Because you think of just the match days. You mentioned the club shop, which attracts a lot of people. But even in the build up to games, you've got the tour people, or tour staff. There's hospitality staff. There's or corporate hospitality. There's hundreds of people there. That that's income for Liverpool.
Absolutely. Moving on then, Phil Thompson, Liverpool legend Phil Thompson, has urged Jurgen Klopp to bring Felipe Coutinho back to Anfield, saying he would re-sign the Brazilian in a heartbeat. Ross, you weren't overly keen on discussing this because, no. I mean, on the scale of things, there's probably a chart that shows how often you've discovered or discussed, I should say, various topics, and behind Timo Werner and coronavirus, Felipe Coutinho is probably the third most discussed or most often brought up Liverpool topic.
Yeah, he's been to 2 different clubs, hasn't he? And hasn't succeeded yet. Some people still want him back. I get it, he's a quality player. And I can only reiterate what I've said for the past 12 months. For me, it just sends out the wrong message. I get that he's a quality player, but I think for everything beforehand, handed his transfer notice, role request in the day before the Watford game, the back injuries and stuff like that. I wouldn't have him back.
So yeah, Phil.
It's fine.
Yeah, Phil Thompson said they are, speaking to Sky Sports, they are probably looking at that creative midfielder, talking about Liverpool's transfer prospects. Would you take Coutinho back? I would in a heartbeat. I think he's a creative genius. You look back at his Liverpool career, he was absolutely terrific. He's not too old, and I still think he could come back. It probably won't happen, but it's that creative player just off the front three that would probably just tip the balance. I mean, absolute fucking horseshit. Complete and utter horseshit. I mean, this is the useful thing. I wonder whether, if I was an ex-footballer, with a little bit of media gravity around, or gravitas, I would buy stakes in a website, in a sports or media website in this regard, because it's just a nothing throwaway comment from Phil Thompson, and yet he's probably generated many, many thousands of clicks anyway. You let us know your thoughts on the Coutinho stuff. We're probably not going to talk about it toward the end of the show, because who gives a fuck? Right, okay. Liverpool Echo. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain makes strange Liverpool admission and sounds Premier League title warning. It's on the Liverpool Echo website, which I'm just going to fill very casually for a moment while I wade through the absolute mountain of pop-ups and garbage that they throw on every single one of their website pages. Here we go. Oxlade-Chamberlain's revealed the inspiration behind Liverpool's remarkable league campaign, but warned it's not finished yet. Exactly in that voice. We're at record 25 points clear. Blah, blah, blah. First of all, it was sort of another heightened respect for Man City as a team. To go 100 points and then 98 back-to-back, that takes a lot of doing. Mentally, as a group of players, I think that's maybe where we thought, all right, 97 points, not good enough. enough. And I remember the manager saying, we've got to do more. Simple as that. He was adamant that's not enough. You've got to do more. And I think it's credit to us in what we've done so far this season. Obviously, it's a strange time because you talk about momentum, and that's the same for every team at the minute, but it's not finished yet. So I'm really proud of us as a group of lads that we've achieved that, and the manager as well. The whole club backroom staff, they're the same. I've seen everyone pushing harder this year, but that's what the manager's created. There's not one ego in that team. Our superstars are the hardest working, most humble, and most relatable guys in the team. I love that last quote, Ross. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, I took that and put it out on my socials before because I thought it was absolutely brilliant. But it kind of sums it all up, doesn't it? I think it goes back to Kiev as well. We missed out on the Champions League final. Sums up the mentality of the squad and going, actually, well, that wasn't good enough. We'll do better. I know they improved in certain areas of the field, which also contributed to us winning the Champions League. But to put all that hard work in, all that effort, and second place is a great achievement. 97 points is a great achievement, but not to win the Premier League. What can you do? And it's laid out there. Well, do better. It sounds pretty simple, but you're using that to kind of push yourself. And which he says it himself. A credit to City for doing so well. He's put us onto another level.
Absolutely. Jurgen Klopp's talks to the Liverpool website as well. He was asked a bit about, where they're really scraping the bottom of the barrel. Like, Jurgen, have you enjoyed talking to people online? And he talks about, it's actually quite funny. I think it's what Liverpool are doing really well at the moment is this sort of like behind the scenes, getting a real glimpse of the personality people. Jurgen Klopp's always been the best with that stuff. They talk about the Skype meeting, the Zoom meetings, I should say, for the training sessions. What I really like about this, Ross, he talks about the togetherness. It's a bit it's a bit chaotic, but everyone's talking at the same time. It's very funny, isn't it? He says, yeah, some people may say it's like a normal meeting or a normal session we have, but it's not like this. I like that as well. When we start at 10, the chat is open from 9:30 on, and pretty much everyone is already in, especially in the first few. They were all pretty early in the chat. So it was really chaotic. Meanwhile, they join it in later now, and everyone knows how it works technically and stuff like that. So they come later, but in time, which is important because we find them as well. Too late in a Zoom session means you have to pay. I genuinely love that. Imagine, God, I would be very poor if there was a fine for every time someone didn't turn up exactly on time for a Skype or Zoom session in our business. The mad little things, aren't they? But we've seen it in the social wrap-up videos that have been going out the last couple of Thursdays on this channel, that people are, we're buzzing off watching the players do stuff. They're buzzing off the interactions with each other, and it just goes to show, again, what a great bunch of lads we've got. Yeah,
they've got to adapt to stuff as well. I think they let them off the first few because, I don't know how Zoom works, or I need to buy a laptop or whatever. You can't get away with it now. But, for such a team-based game, it must be really hard for them to adjust to, spending 4 or 5 days with the mates. And, we talk about that bond. It's not mentally, it's physically as well, and the camaraderie in the change rooms or the training ground. To kind of not have that, but kind of keep up the momentum, I think is the key thing. And you've got to be ready at any point to go back into football. I know it's a couple of weeks off yet, but to brace yourself for that, I think is something completely different.
Yeah, absolutely. Barnardo Silva's been talking. The Mirror have picked this up. That he believes there is a bias towards Liverpool players when it comes out handing out individual awards. It says he was among the nominees for last season's PFA Player of the Year award, but lost out to the impressive Virgil van Dijk. He also talks about the season before, where Kevin De Bruyne lost out to Mohamed Salah. On his debut, Salah's debut season. That was the season before, right? Anyway, whatever. The point is that he's making this point that Liverpool are going to win the league as well this season, likely, so it's probably going to be a Liverpool player again. He says, I hope this is not a bad example. People don't take it badly. That's always a good start to a sentence when you know something's going to be online. But I always think about the last 3 seasons, Man City and Liverpool. He told Bleacher Report 3 seasons ago, we win the league and they were 30 points behind. Kevin De Bruyne, unbelievable season. Salah scores a lot of goals. He's a great player. I admire him a lot. And they give the award to Mo Salah. I love that. Desperately trying to claw himself out of a hole there before he's even finished talking. Season after, very tight. Raheem Sterling was on the run with Van Dijk. They gave the award to Van Dijk. This season again, Kevin De Bruyne, another unbelievable season. We're behind, but because Liverpool are champions, probably one of them is winning the award again.
I watched the actual video, to be fair. He's got a point to a degree, but Mo Salah scoring 30 goals in the league season as a winger. Mm-hmm. It's not like he's just giving it to anyone. He's giving it to a Liverpool player for the sake of doing it. It's like they haven't achieved anything. Van Dijk equally completely changed our whole defence. Put us in run of a title race. This season, we've absolutely pissed it. Where he didn't help himself was the fact towards the end of that interview, he says, or the clip, sorry, was De Bruyne has never won the PFA Player of the Year, which is decided by the fucking players. So, like, where do you go from there? You know, and possibly maybe there's a certain degree to it. You know, there's City are a very good side. I think you know we can all respect what they've done and how good they've been. You know, Chamberlain says it himself there, but maybe there's also a sense of self-entitlement that they deserve the awards, which is probably a key reason why they don't get them.
Man City are an odd club, aren't they? And this is where I think they get away with stuff, because I don't think anyone has a real depth of feeling about Manchester City, and that's the problem. People really like Kevin De Bruyne. I don't think anyone is in doubt that he's probably the best footballer in the Premier League. Like, you know, all told.